Prepare yourself for a talk radio experience like no other.
Strap yourselves in and hold on.
He stands for truth. He stands for justice. He stands for what's right. This is the Alex Jones Show. Call Alex now, toll free, at 877-590-5525. Now live from Austin, Texas, here's Alex Jones.
All right, very important radio broadcast lined up for you on this live Sunday edition. We are here with a syndicated broadcast every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And in studio with us for at least an hour and a half of the broadcast today will be New York Times best-selling author multiple times, many times, including his latest book, Jim Marrs. His latest book is The Rise of the Fourth Reich, the secret societies that threaten to take over America. And people get it backwards, that we didn't get Nazism from the Nazis in Germany. The international bankers, the robber barons, funded out of England and the United States, funded the fascists in Italy and Germany. And that's part of mainline history. Really, 90% of what you're going to be hearing today is on the record. It's just been forgotten history, or history people never learned to begin with. And then the other 10% is amazing original research of Jim Marrs. And this has been put out by one of the biggest publishers out there. It's only been out a few months, and it's already on the New York Times bestseller list. Jim Marrs is a good friend of mine. He also wrote the New York Times bestseller Crossfire, and that was made into the movie JFK by Oliver Stone. And, of course, he helped write the screenplay and was the main consultant on that incredible film, JFK. And other films, as well as a frequent guest on Discovery Channel, History Channel, international media, BBC, Japanese, Russian TV, you name it. And he is a fellow Texan from up by Fort Worth, and he's a gumshoe news reporter. Back when the Kennedy assassination took place, he was reporting on it in depth. He even went and drank and hung out at Jack Ruby's bar. Famous picture of him up on the bar there dancing with some of the girls. So Jim Marrs, quite a character, wearing a fedora and got the gray beard, the whole 9 yards. Looks like something, out of a Mickey Spillane novel. So he is here with us for the hour and a half of the show, or 3/4 of the transmission at least. Now, before we get to him, I know the international financial order, at least collapsing on the surface, is new news to most people. But for 6 years, I have been talking about it every single show, Monday through Friday. And for the last 2 years, doing this Sunday edition, abbreviated 2-hour edition to a 4-hour weekdays, we've been covering it every day, at least 5-10 minutes, and some days the entire show. And it's not because I am a fortune teller or have a crystal ball, or because I have a good astrologer. It's because we read the IMF and World Bank plans. This is a big world, and people say nothing that the elite, do would be secret. There's too many people. Folks would find out. Well, they do find out. It is public. It's just that the mainstream media is telling you about Jessica Simpson and her Dallas Cowboy quarterback boyfriend, or what's happening with Anna Nicole Smith's baby, or O.J. Simpson and the Las Vegas robbery trial. And they keep people distracted and diverted with that, to where 2/3 of the news is covering that. The other third is fake bin Laden videos uploaded by known CIA fronts. So that's why we're informed, and that's why we really know what's happening and what's transpiring, what's going on in the world, and are years and years ahead of everybody else. And I also get experts on the air. I mean, since 2002, when the IMF and World Bank documents came out, I've been interviewing people like Joseph Stiglitz, two-time Nobel Prize winner, once for economics and peace, breaking down what the international bankers were going to do, and the former head of the Treasury, Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, and the head of the New York Business School. I mean, I've interviewed hundreds of people of that caliber. And they were all saying the same thing, that basically by design, the economy is going to be imploded. And then they laid out how it was going to happen. And then I hear other talk show hosts in the newspaper, everybody trying to play catch up, and you're buying into the propaganda again that, oh, we're bailing the banks out, and then everything will be okay. No. What you've done is had cancer on the end of your finger, and then you've just decided not to cut it off. You've decided to let it metastasize into your lungs and your bones and your brain. Because the big scam isn't the trillions of dollars the private banks have stolen from the Treasury and the Pentagon and all the garbage, cancerous paper they wrote that was based on fraud, the AAA-rated securities that were junk. That's not the issue. The couple $100 billion in bad mortgages, that's nothing. It is the fact that you're now buying into the, quote, bailout, which then contractually binds the U.S. Treasury and the people that back that up, the taxpayers, into not trillions, not tens of trillions, not hundreds of trillions, but thousands of trillions. We're up in the quadrillions. Now, that's not Alex Jones. That's top economists. That's even the Dallas Morning News. A few years ago admitted that the real debts, the real obligations of the United States were $54 trillion. That was about 2003, and that was only a shadow of it. Now, let me explain something. When you get into thousands of trillions, that's hundreds of times all the real wealth in the world. So let me explain what's happened. These private banking families, they're about monopolies. They're not about free market or you doing well. And if they think they can get away with fully bankrupting the economy, claiming they're bailing it out to accelerate all this other debt and pay all this fiat currency and liquidity into their banking system, they will then buy up the rest of the real assets, then bankrupt the whole thing, and leave the American people and the people of the world holding the financial bag. So we knew this 6 years ago when the IMF and World Bank documents came out, how they were planning to do it here. We also, and BBC even reported on this. We knew it then again 3 years ago. We went to Canada, myself and Aaron Dykes and others, to cover Bilderberg. I got detained, interrogated there. I got threatened not to cover it, but our moles inside got the global elite meeting, and we came out and we said in that film, Endgame, that was almost 3 years ago. The film came out a year and a half ago. And in the film we're saying, and in the extras we're saying, well, our sources inside are telling us that they plan to pop the real estate market and tell the public that's going to cause the world economic meltdown. But really, the scam is bailing them out. See, the real bank robbery is happening now. It's like an obsessive compulsive gambler. You know, he's $100 down at the craps table, so he goes in 1,000. Then he goes in 10,000. Then he goes out and gets a mortgage on his house and comes back, and he's about to go in $1 million. See, we've gone in 10,000 on the craps tables or on the roulette wheel, and we've, the house is winning. It's a rigged game. Now they're going to get us individually in for $1 million. So that's the analogy for these quadrillions, thousands of trillions that we're talking about here. And look, it's not in our hands now. They have activated Northcom. They are moving in combat regular Army brigades in the Army Times reports to engage the American people. It says it. It's not Alex Jones saying it now. And they say it real friendly and nice, like it's no big deal. They say, we hope we don't have to shoot Americans in there. Actually, it's a quote. We hope we don't have to shoot you. You see how that works. See, the military and the police are there to guard. They of course, don't know this. They just follow orders. They're compartmentalized. They're there to guard the bank robbers in the final takedown where they run up America's credit card. See, they trick you into, there's a problem. We're some financial experts that caused all this. Let us have, just sign your power of attorney over to me, and I'll fix it all for you. And what they're doing is, you think the small debts we had were big. Now we're going to go into the American people being tied into the Ponzi scheme for the quadrillions. The other big scam is that any of this was an accident. The quadrillions of debt were created where they took securities and leveraged them out over and over and over again with derivatives to infinity to get the mining stock, the shipping companies, the raw land, the media companies, the defense companies, to buy off the governments. Now, these big banks they just blew out, the four big ones that fell this week, and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac 2 weeks ago, those were just the window dressing fronts, like in Goodfellas. They're just burning the restaurant down now. and then we're going to supposedly pay the insurance on it when they're torturing the restaurant. We'll be right back. Stay with us.